Blue economy, according to the World Bank, is the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, job creation, improved livelihoods, and ocean ecosystem health. You're welcome to another interesting episode of your program, Nimasa This Week, on the very last weekend in the month of November, and interestingly, the very first weekend in the month of December 2024. I remain your regular host on the program, Moyioluwa Olutayo. Stay tuned on the program as we begin to roll together.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. We are charting the direction for our maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are Nimasa. New face, rejuvenated service. Nimasa, changing the tides in your favor.
I am Captain Sondo Moren.
My name is Emmanuel Maigua.
I am Dr. Odunayo Ani.
Hello everyone, my name is Vivian Chimezie.
Western Nigeria President.
CEO of Briggs Master Matani and President of Mano.
And I'm the Director General at the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping.
You're watching Nimasa This Week.
You're watching Nimasa This Week.
The voice of the maritime.
The voice of the maritime industry.
Keep watching.
Keep watching Nimasa This Week.
Keep watching us.
Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
If you're just joining us on the program, we welcome you to Nimasa This Week. The Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, has declared that a national policy on marine and blue economy is essential for the development of the Nigerian maritime sector. He stated this while declaring open a stakeholders validation session aimed at developing the national policy on marine and blue economy in Nigeria. Stay tuned.
The draft national policy on marine and blue economy, which consists of 9 parts, offers an elaborate overview of Nigerian marine and blue economic endowments and their current state. In his welcome address at the Stakeholders Validation Workshop, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Olufemi Oloruntola, noted that the validation workshop is a crucial step in shaping the policy, which aims to meet Nigeria's unique needs and aspirations.
I commend the technical team and all stakeholders who have shown commitment and are here to support these efforts. Your dedication, expertise, are crucial, and I am confident that the outcomes of this workshop will reflect the collective effort and insights brought to the table. I encourage all participants to engage actively and contribute meaningfully to these deliberations. I would like to specially acknowledge the Honorable Minister, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, for his strategic leadership and unwavering commitment which have steered this ministry towards excellence, fostering an environment where transformative ideas and initiatives have been brought to life.
The hall was filled to capacity with stakeholders from various sectors of the industry. One after another, they commended the ministry for engaging stakeholders before finalizing the document. The first to speak was Ms. Fumi Folorunsho, President of the African Ship Owners Association.
We're hosting a stakeholders workshop, and one of the key things we say is engage your stakeholders. Don't make policies outside of the stakeholders. I'm proud to be picturing and sending online and saying, see what Nigeria is doing, you had all better emulate it. I am proud to be a Nigerian today because albeit the blue economy is an all-encompassing agenda. It's not about fisheries, not about ships or whatever. But today, if you look behind us, what's the picture you see? It's the ships. And so on behalf of ship owners, not only in Nigeria, but outside of Nigeria, we thank you for making us proud.
Yes, we've watched the different agencies under the ministry then of transportation at the time of transport working in silos, working in different directions. And it became very difficult for the stakeholders to know who to deal with on issues of common that cuts across the different agencies. But today, look at what we are witnessing. Every agency under the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy are gathered today to begin to speak with one voice. There have been several workshops over time. There have been several papers, several seminars and conferences, and several reports all over the place. I'm hoping that this initiative will help all of us to aggregate all the work that was done in the past so that we're not unduly reinventing the wheel. As stakeholders, well, Fumi talks about ships. I talk about ships. I talk about ship repair, and I talk about shipbuilding. But it doesn't stop there. There are other stakeholders that have very important and peculiar activities that are relevant for the success of what we're about to establish. So,
I am particularly delighted to see such a diverse gathering of experts, practitioners, policymakers, and key stakeholders from various sectors. Your presence here today underscores our commitment to harnessing Nigeria's vast marine and blue economy potential for sustainable development. Nigeria's marine and blue economy resources and coastal waters represent untapped opportunities for economic growth, environmental sustainability, and social prosperity. However, realizing these potentials require a unified and well-structured approach that guarantees a national policy that reflects the aspiration of all stakeholders, balances competing interests, aligns with global best practices, and keys into the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration and the presidential priorities on unlocking energy and natural resources for sustainable development.
In his keynote address, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, emphasized the ministry's commitment to leveraging Nigeria's extensive marine resources to stimulate economic growth, enhance security, and promote environmental sustainability. He added that a national policy will serve as a catalyst for achieving the ministry's objectives.
The blue economy is a transformative pathway for nations seeking to balance economic growth with environmental sustainability. For Nigeria, with 853 kilometers of coastline, extensive inland waterways, and a vast exclusive economic zone, the marine environment holds unparalleled opportunities in areas of fisheries, aquaculture, shipping and maritime infrastructure, tourism, renewable energy, and seabed mining. However, these opportunities come with challenges and require a fitted approach to minimize unsustainable practices.
Speaking further, Oyetola noted that a robust national policy will address issues such as illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing and environmental degradation, among others, through a comprehensive framework that aligns with international best practices while safeguarding our marine resources for future generations.
Our goal is to critically evaluate the draft policy, ensuring that it addresses the needs of all stakeholders, incorporates global standards, and positions Nigeria as a regional leader in the blue economy. The outcomes from these stakeholder engagements will be used to update the draft policy, and at the end of this process, we expect to deliver a national policy document that clearly sets out the roadmap to developing our blue economy, creating jobs, promoting private sector investment, and delivering inclusive prosperity to all Nigerians, especially for our youths and women.
Also present at the event were directors from the ministry, chief executive officers of all agencies under the ministry, and stakeholders from various sectors of the maritime industry.
Still on Nimasa this week, the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Dayo Mobiriola, this week engaged with the Consul General of the Danish Consulate in Nigeria, who also doubles as the head of trade, JTBM. They had a fruitful deliberation on how Nigeria and Denmark can improve their relationship in terms of trade balance in the maritime sector.
As the gatekeeper to the Baltic Sea, Denmark's geographic location has been a significant factor in the country's development into one of the leading maritime nations. Surrounded by water, Denmark has more than 400 islands and a total coastline of over 7,000 kilometers, making it the fifth largest maritime shipping nation. Therefore, when the DG CEO of Nimasa, Dr. Dayo Mobiriola, engaged with the Consul General of the Danish Consulate in Nigeria, who also serves as the head of trade, JTBM, they discussed areas of collaboration based on mutual benefits.
Let's reduce the cost of freight, cost of logistics, which would dovetail into reduction of transportation costs generally for Africa and Nigeria especially. We are looking at all the possible means and ideas how we can continue to sustain it. Again, we are into the marine environmental protection. So decarbonization, net zero, climate change, everything that can help sustain the environment. In actual fact, I recoined it differently by saying that Nimasa wants to partner with the environment, so that everything that is good about the environment, we want to be a partner to it.
Of course, with the proof of concept project also to try to say how can we do that, and then from there show that it can be done on desk, on ships, and then take it to the next level.
So you'll hear much more of that, but I think just me being here as well, it also emphasizes the collaboration between the official Denmark and the private Denmark. We are a small nation, so we tend to rub shoulders a lot as a nation, and we support each other a lot, the private and the public sector, and we have shared interests and shared goals. So at least the AP Møller Maersk Group and APM Terminals being mainly represented here, we are 100% supportive of the Danish and the European Africa strategy, and also want to put our investments and our capabilities behind that. And that's what you see in our proposal to upgrade in Apapa as well.
Marine litter is part of the broader problem of waste management, which is becoming a major public health and environmental concern in many countries around the world. On February 10, 2021, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency launched the Marine Litter and Microplastic Action Plan to tackle plastic waste in the country's waterways. And this week, the agency hosted the second National Task Force implementation meeting for the Maritime Action Plan on Marine Litter and Plastics Management in Nigeria.
I am greatly honored and pleased to welcome you all to the second meeting on the implementation of the Maritime Action Plan on Marine Litter and Plastic Management in Nigeria. As you are all aware, this task force was constituted to coordinate the full execution of the roadmap of the Maritime Action Plan. Bearing in mind the purpose of this meeting, which is aimed at ensuring public stewardship and effective implementation of the Maritime Action Plan, Nimasa remains committed to achieving sustainable socio-economic development in the maritime sector through partnership and policies that will ensure cleaner oceans, sustain safer shipping, and enhance maritime capacity.
Representatives from the federal and state ministries of environment, along with officials from agencies and parastatals, such as the Nigerian Ports Authority and the National Inland Waterways Authority, as well as stakeholders from the private sector, made presentations on the best strategies for managing marine litter.
I make bold to say that it has been a success story in terms of providing standard and adequate port reception facilities for ship-generated waste, which I am sure Nimasa will bear us witness. We have upgraded our facilities around the six ports for now, and we have equally expanded the capacity of the facilities.
Waste management was described as a major challenge, with ships around the world discarding 5.5 million pieces of rubbish into the oceans every day, and Nigeria faces its own share of this issue.
So we're here today. In the course of our deliberation, we shall take another look at the action plan roadmap and expect participants to actively report on the successes made so far in their constituencies towards the combat against marine litter, whether from the sea-based sources, land-based, also successes in terms of legislation, enforcement actions, and other areas, all towards the circular economy and development of the sustainable blue economy.
The objectives of the previous MTF meeting were as follows: to set a national roadmap to tackle the issues of marine litter and plastics, to strengthen engagement and partnership within members of the National Task Force, to stimulate a culture of collective responsibility in the NTF towards the protection of the marine environment, to identify specific actions and parties responsible that will aid in the reduction and elimination of marine litter and plastics from our environment.
You're welcome back. We're gradually coming to the end of this year 2024, an eventful year so far in the maritime sector. On this program, in every episode, we shall be serving you stakeholders' views on how Nigeria has performed in the maritime sector. Today, we start with the President General of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Comrade Adewale Adeyanju, who is also the Vice President of the Nigeria Labour Congress. Stay tuned.
Our first question to Comrade Adewale Adeyanju was on his rating of the Nigerian maritime industry in 2024 so far.
I was saying the 2024, there are good things and there are the other side of it that attach to what happened to us in the maritime sectors. The good things that I can relay with you is about the signing of agreement in the shipping industry, the minimum standard of agreement that we signed, witnessed by the Honorable Minister of Blue Economy. That one is a wonderful one because the matter has been on for almost decades. So we want to applaud the management of Nimasa, we want to applaud the Nigeria Port Authority, applaud even the Shippers Council that giving us that opportunity of getting the right for the workers in shipping.
Now let's listen to his expectations for the industry in the year 2025.
The government to strengthen the Naira the more, because the way things are now, if we are by entry 25 and the economy is still the same it is now, so what is going to happen in 2025? We don't want an old wine in a new bottle to repeat itself. The economic situations in the port now is affecting all the investors. Some of the investors are no longer ready for business as a result of the dollars and the Naira, because our Naira is very weak. So we want to employ the government to make it to be more straight. This will strengthen our Naira. So if they strengthen the Naira, the better for the investors to continue to do their business. And we equally want to say that this 2025 that is very close to us, the terminal operators, their license up to now have not been reviewed, and the anxiety in the mind of the workers is still there, that are they about losing their job? Because if I have a business with Nigeria Port Authority and the authority refuses to sign my agreement, then what happened to the workers at the back of me? So I think that is the anxiety that is in the mind of the workers in 2024. We don't want it to split into 2025. Let the government expedite actions and make sure that the agreement reached between the terminal operators and that of the government, they sign it, so that there won't be loss of job.
With nearly 8 years at the helm of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, overseeing significant progress for dock workers and seafarers, he was asked to share some of his secrets and advice on how these successes can be sustainable.
The peace that everybody enjoyed today, it was as a result of commitment. Commitment coming from us to the stakeholders, commitment from our members as well. And we dedicate our life for this struggle. So the peace will continue to reign after I bow out, and I don't have any doubt about that whoever is coming to take over from me must have learned about the port activities, must have learned what has befell us in the past and where we are now. I have done my best and I will continue to do my best, because the industry is large and is bigger than me. So the person coming after me will do better than me. That's my prayer. And I will not stop by not acknowledging all my executive who have been very, very wonderful by way of giving this support. If you have a very good subordinate, the better for you as a leader to progress.
We ended the conversation with his message to stakeholders as the year draws to an end.
On behalf of Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, I want all the dock workers, the seafarers, the dock workers, the seafarers, the MP workers, the shipping workers, that there's hope. There's going to be hope for us in 2025. Hope of prosperity, hope of finance, hope of understanding ourselves, that God will touch the heart of our employers to do the right thing for us, because we are Oliver Twist. We always ask for more.
Vessel operating coastal voyage in Nigeria must mandatorily have on board the following: vessel logbook, vessel port of call, vessel particulars, which include registry certificates, safety equipment certificates such as safe manning certificates, builder certificates, load line certificates, tonnage certificates, radio certificate, insurance certificates, classification certificates, passenger ship safety certificate, service certificate, cargo ship certificate, and waiver certificate or receipts. Vessel owners Captains, shipping agents, and members of the public are advised to note and comply.
That's our package for today. Thank you all for watching. But before I go, do you know that beach colors vary by destination? Now you know. The festive season is gradually setting in, and visiting the beach can actually help to take off those accumulated stress. So why don't you begin to make plans? Until we meet again on the same platform, same station, same time, next week, bon voyage.